You know that feeling when you're scrolling through endless TV options and every headline promises the best picture ever, but you're terrified of spending a fortune on a screen that ends up looking like a pricey wall decoration you never actually use? I get it. You've probably already measured your living room, checked the couch distance, and wondered if that massive 83-inch OLED is really worth the hype or if it's just a way to blow your budget on something that only shines on movie night. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. In this video I'm going to break down the LG G3 Series 83-inch OLED EVO, not by rattling off specs, but by looking at the everyday moments that matter, binge watching a drama, firing up a PS5, or just leaving it on while you're cooking dinner. Let's start with the biggest decision point for most buyers: size and the room it lives in. An 83-inch panel is a statement piece. If your primary viewing area is a spacious living room with a 10-foot viewing distance, the sheer immersion can feel like stepping onto a movie set. The ultra-thin one-wall design actually makes it look like a piece of modern art when you mount it flush, and LG's Always Ready mode means the TV powers up instantly, so you don't have to wait for a boot sequence before the opening credits roll. That's a nice touch for people who hate that half-second lag between picking up the remote and seeing the picture. Now, picture quality is the heart of any OLED, and the G3's OLED EVO panel pushes the technology a bit further. What you'll notice first is the absolute black levels. The pixels truly turn off, giving you that inky depth that makes dark scenes look like they belong in a theater rather than a living room. The brighter highlights have also been nudged up compared to older LG models, which means you can watch HDR content in a moderately lit room without the screen looking washed out. In practice, that translates to a more vivid color palette when you stream a Netflix series, and a cleaner, more detailed image when you watch a sports event under daylight coming through the windows. If you're a gamer, the G3 has a few practical advantages that go beyond just it looks good. The TV ships with a low input lag gaming mode and supports variable refresh rate, VRR, over its HDMI 2.1 ports, so frame rate spikes from a PS5 or Xbox Series X won't result in stutter. The AI-powered gallery feature automatically upscales lower resolution games to near 4K, which can make older titles look surprisingly fresh. The Magic Remote, while not a game controller, offers quick access to game mode presets, so you can toggle settings without diving into menus handy when you're in the middle of a match and don't want to pause. On the smart side, webOS 23 runs the show. The interface feels snappier than previous iterations, and you have built-in access to popular streaming apps, plus Alexa integration for voice control. For most households, that means you can ask the TV to launch a show, dim the lights, if you have compatible smart bulbs, or even order groceries without leaving the couch. The downside? webOS still surfaces a few promotional tiles, and some users find the ad-like suggestions a bit intrusive, especially if you prefer a minimalist home screen. Let's talk about the hidden trade-offs that only become clear after you live with the TV for a few weeks. First, the sheer size can be a double-edged sword. While the immersive feel is fantastic for a dedicated media room, that same screen can dominate a smaller space, making it feel overwhelming and causing you to constantly turn the volume up to fill the room. The viewing angle on OLED is excellent. You won't notice a color shift whether you're seated centrally or off to the side, but you still need to consider glare. If you have large windows or bright ambient light, you might need blackout curtains or an anti-glare screen film to keep the picture consistent. Burn-in is another practical consideration. OLED panels have a finite lifespan for each pixel, and static elements like news tickers or game HUDs can, over years, leave faint ghosts. LG mitigates this with built-in pixel shifting and a screensaver that activates after a period of inactivity, but if you plan to use the TV as a primary monitor for a PC with static UI elements, you might want to think twice. For the average movie watcher or gamer who varies content daily, the risk is low, but it's a factor that often gets glossed over in glossy marketing copy. Connectivity is solid but not limitless. The G3 offers 4 HDMI 2.1 ports, which is plenty for most households, but the ports are